Did you swallow those things?
Whatever.
You maybe did it.
Who's excited for camp? Riley, I haven't seen you in so long. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Oh my gosh, hi. I missed you guys. It's been so long. Oh, there's my kindergartner. Madeline, your hair looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look how big you've gotten.
Read her some books.
Hello, everybody. I'm loving this. Some of you I get to see all the time, but some of you I haven't seen in so long. Hey, I even see my neighbor who I only see at the J and not at home. Hi, friends.
What?
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. So my name is Kimberly Davidson, and I am the director of Noah's Ark Summer Camp. I am the proud and happy director of Noah's Ark Summer Camp. And I am so excited that summer is literally almost here. We have an incredible, amazing program for all of you to enjoy. And tonight we're going to just go over some of the highlights, and lots of questions I'm sure are going to be coming our way. Our chat box is open right now so that all the messages just go to Danny Ashendorf. She's the fabulous director of our Early Learning Center and is going to be very busy planning for the next school year while I'm running camp, but she is going to be helping me whenever I need it, because we are definitely a team that help this place run as smoothly as it does. For those of you that are just coming back after all of this COVID craziness, welcome. To those of you who have been back, some of you since last summer, I'm sure you will be able to help the other parents feel more at ease, because you know that we've been absolutely amazingly running a safe and happy program. And we're just going to get right into everything. Remember, if you have any questions about anything, just feel free to jot them in the chat box. And at the end of our presentation, we will take all of your questions and hopefully get them all answered. Just letting you know that Danny and I are still at the JCC, and the building will close and lock us in if we're not out of here in about an hour and 15 minutes. So if things run longer than that and you still have questions, I will be here all day tomorrow, all day the rest of the week, over the weekend, and for the next 9 months straight, making sure everybody's having a fabulous summer. Okay. It got so quiet all of a sudden, I can't hear anything, but I guess you guys can all hear me, right? Thumbs up. Thank you. Oh, hey guys. Hi, Riley. Hi, Dill. I see Jackie. Where are my kitties? Dan, are we getting the PowerPoint up? Hi, Sophia.
I'm gonna say hi to Miss Kim. Okay.
Who is that?
Can I say hi to Miss Kim?
Of course, you're saying hi right now. Who is it? I don't know who it is saying hi to Miss Kim.
Hi.
Hi. So we're going to get started. This is JCAM's Welcome to Noah's Ark 2021 here at the Stoller Early Childhood Education Center. Look at those faces. So just that you are all aware, we are going to be starting camp on Monday, June 14th, and it runs straight through the 9 weeks to Friday, August 13th. Now, this is the part that I think some people are finding a little bit confusing. For those of you who were with us last summer and this year, you know that we've been running one program and our school is open to everyone the same times. Over the summer, we are going back to the way it was back before COVID. However, it's not how we're moving forward in the fall. So it's just for the next 9 weeks, we are going to be running 3 different programs. One is called Noah's Ark Half Day, and it runs from 9 to 12. Noah's Ark Full Day runs from 9 to 3:30. And then we are going back to the Preschool Plus model, which runs 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that gives working families the flexibility to really bring their kids, you know, when they're leaving for work, and again, get them on their way home. Our early drop-off is what the addendum was really talking about that you all finally received yesterday evening. And what it explains is that because of the way we have structured carpool, we no longer can offer that 8 to 9 drop-off time. So instead, our early morning drop-off time has changed from 7 to 8:10 a.m. Nobody will be allowed in the building from 8:10 to 8:25. And then as we see in later slides, we'll talk more about carpool. Please make sure you know that if your child is unable to come to school, come to camp one day, whether it's because they're not feeling great or you have a family engagement, we cannot transfer that day out for another day of camp. Our mission, which I am very proud to read to you. Noah's Ark provides its campers with opportunities to grow and explore the world around them through play and discovery-based experiences in our safe and nurturing environment. Guided by experienced early childhood educators, campers enjoy activities designed to encourage discovery and delight, which builds self-confidence and develops curiosity. Our campers establish strong connections with each other while learning the Jewish values, collaboration, and respect, thereby building a strong foundation of character and education for the future. Something we all really do take very dear to heart and are proud to bring to the children. So I am Kimberly Davidson. I'm your camp director. Danny, wave your hands high. That's Danny Ashendorf, our director of the Stoller Early Learning Center. We have a fabulous new administrative assistant, Mary Ida. She's learning everything very quickly, and we're thrilled to have her. Mindy Wassel has been with us for a while and was at Milldale before when we had camps there. She is our head nurse. Our counselors are all certified preschool teachers. We have assistant counselors as well as some specialists. We are lucky enough to have a fabulous program for 12 months. We employ all of our 12-month employees, but over the summer, because everybody knows what an incredible facility the JCC is, we have students from other schools join us over the summer, so we grow, which means we need extra staff over the summer. And that is why you will see some new faces for the next 9 weeks. And I gotta tell you, I know you all received that email that, you know, we were a little bit stressed about our staffing. We have a fabulous staff, and I can tell you that we are ready for each and every one of our campers. So no more worries about that. We are good to go with people I'm proud to call staff. This just tells you a little bit more about nursing services. Mindy, if you've ever spoken to her, is very down to earth and easy to talk to. Please let her know of any issues that your child may have, whether it's as simple as eczema or as complicated as, you know, an allergy or whatever it is she needs to know. She is in daily from 8 to 1. It's not always Nurse Mindy. We have a bunch of different nurses that come and work with us, all who are fabulous with children, but Mindy is just a phone call away. So if any of those other nurses have a question, or they always are able to reach out to Nurse Mindy, and she keeps everybody organized and together. 2 things I do want to mention about this slide is that by now, hopefully you've gotten all of the medical forms filled out. Some need to be filled out by your doctor. Most of them are for you to fill out. Those are required in order for your camper to start. If you were with us during the school year, we do not require new medical forms, but do require an update if any new vaccinations have been given out. Vaccinations are a must to attend our JCC programs. And also for things as simple as diaper rash or just an over-the-counter cream for like an eczema or anything like that, all of that stuff does need to come from a physician's prescription given to the nurse, and then somebody from the nursing services or somebody with the medical administration is able to give you your child that medication or that cream or whatever it may be during camp hours. But we are not even allowed to put diaper rash on a diaper rash unless we have doctor's orders. So what that means for those of you with infant toddler children is that we are able to use diaper rash cream every time we change a diaper. However, if there is a rash that is being treated by a cream, we are not allowed to treat anything with creams or any other kind of medication without a doctor's note.
Can you say that again? So if it's just regular diaper rash cream, that's fine?
Yes, and just do me a favor, type your answers in there, but I will repeat that just so that we can get through this. So if you're, for the infant and toddlers, like I know when my babies, who are now not babies, were young, like I used to just put it on every time I changed a diaper. Preventative care of anything is absolutely okay as long as it's not a prescription. So if you put Desitin on every time, if you want us to put Desitin on every time you change a diaper, we have no problem with that. But if there is a rash or a diaper rash or any other issue going on, we cannot put on cream as a medication, even if it is as simple as a Desitin, if there's a rash there, and that is what is prescribed to help heal that rash. So again, anything preventative we can do, but anything that is medicative, we cannot do without the doctor's orders. And most doctors will fill out the medication administration authorization form easily because they get them all the time. And then we are happy to do whatever is needed to help your children through whatever the rash or condition may be. I hope that made more sense. This brings us to our schedule, which makes camp so much fun. On Mondays, we dedicate to Mitzvah Mondays. Each week, the children will be performing little tasks to help our community, to help people less fortunate. We will do everything from, I'm trying to think of some of the cool stuff, from making cards for veterans to making casseroles for those who are food insecure. A couple of times we will be reaching out to you to ask you to do stuff at home, like the kids will be decorating a lunch bag and we'll ask you to send in an extra lunch, and we'll make sure that those lunches go to families who need them the very same day. We partner with JCC, and you'll learn more about that in a different slide. On Tuesdays, we call it Tutu Tuesdays, and you will find all of our counselors at carpool and around the building in tutus, and we want you guys to be in the spirit too. You can find them at the dollar store, so it certainly doesn't cost much. Just make sure your child shows camp spirit. On Wednesdays, I hope you've had time to look at the calendar. You can see that each Wednesday is going to be silly and fun, and we hope that you participate in that. On Thursdays, it's called Throwback Thursdays. Our staff love to wear old camp shirts from back in the day. If your camper was with us last year or the year before and you can still squeeze them into the shirts, go for it. If not, you certainly will be receiving a new shirt, but we want you to save that for Family Fridays, where we celebrate Shabbat and all these other things. And it's really cool when you look out when 200 children were all in the same shirt. The next 3 slides are the 3 months of camp, starting with June. You can see that our very first day is the 14th, and that our very first Wednesday is Wacky Hat Day. So make sure you find those crazy funky hats and start showing your camp spirit. Also, on that first Monday, you'll see that it says begin collecting art supplies to benefit Ronald McDonald House. This is going to be an ongoing mitzvah project. We're going to have a big tub outside in our lobby, and if you are running errands or at the dollar store or wherever and you see anything that's like art related, whether it's coloring books or paper or colored pencils, we are going to all summer long encourage the children to donate to this. And then the last week of camp, we're going to be putting together special bags and presenting them to children who are sick and their families through the Ronald McDonald House. So it's something that's really special and easy, because you can find crowns and markers and paper everywhere, and hopefully we can really make a difference in some children's lives. I'm not going to go through the other 2 months because you are all capable of going through it yourself. If you have any questions, don't worry. The week is always explained in my Friday newsletter, so you'll get more information about all of that. So I know that you are all curious about what to bring and where to camp. So this next slide is what to bring and where on every single day. We get messy. We pride ourselves on letting the children direct the day and everything being child-centered. And when you really believe in that philosophy and understand how capable and competent children are, we get messy, we get wet, we get dirty, we get paint on us, and it just brings happy memories for a lifetime. Label all your clothing, including shoes, outer garments, masks, everything you can think of. Because of COVID, we really are not keeping a lost and found. So if something's not labeled and it is discovered, it will be discarded. If it is labeled, of course, we will make sure it finds its way home. Every time your child is at camp, if they have a swim day, make sure they're in a bathing suit. If they are still in diapers or training, make sure that they have a swim diaper on top of the regular diaper, not underneath, on top. This way, the diaper is still collecting whatever needs to be collected, but when it comes time to swim time, it's much easier for children to help themselves get ready for swim by just ripping off the diaper underneath, and then the swim diaper is already on. It gets to be really difficult when we have, 12 2-year-olds in a bunk and everyone is not coming prepared for swim, and it's time to put on everyone's swim diaper and then put on everyone's bathing suit again. So this really does help us. Make sure you send a plastic bag for wet items, a towel, water shoes to travel to and from the pool. Your child, the next one says closed-toe shoes. Your child must wear closed-toe shoes with a back every day to camp. Sneakers are definitely best, but I'm trying to think what the brand of shoe is called, that it's like a sandal, but it's all, Danny, do you know what I'm talking about? Not a TiVo, but anyway, it's
a Keen.
Thank you. That is exactly it. Now, Keens are expensive, but I'm sure that you can find a no-name brand Keen, but they have rubber soles. They keep the kids' feet really protected. They're fine for camp all day. We do not.
They also have natives. It might be said with an accent, but it's definitely called a native.
Okay, so anything like that where the toes are covered and the sole is rubber and the heels protected is great. Our facility is beautiful, but we have lots of rocks to climb on and lots of mulch all over the place, and it really is uncomfortable for people in sandals to like maneuver through all of that kind of stuff. But when your child is going to the pool, we have no problem changing them into whether it's a water shoe or a croc or whatever your child is comfortable in to walk to the pool, so that their sneakers or their shoes for the day don't get wet. We'll come back and change them back into their closed-toe shoes. Everyone does need to wear a mask to camp. We certainly understand that everyone 2 and older, I should say, or infant toddlers are not required, but everyone else is. We certainly understand that for the 2-year-olds, it's difficult. But when I walk into a 2-year-old classroom now, they are happily playing with their mask on. It's just about setting that expectation. They soon don't even think about wearing them. It's just part of their day. And also every day you'll want to bring a dairy nut-free lunch for all campers who stay past noon. And again, label everything. So the stuff that you want to keep at camp that you don't want to be schlepping back and forth are 2 complete changes of clothing. This includes socks, underwear, shorts, shirts. And if your child is using the toilet, make sure that the clothes are easy for them to manage. There is nothing worse than a child who is in the potty training process have like a one-piece thing on that they can't maneuver, and they so badly want to be independent in the bathroom, but just can't for what they're wearing. So just make sure everything is easy to pull on and pull off, and make sure 2 sets of clothes are just kept here. I would always go to, one of the cheap places like a Walmart or a Target and just buy the plain shorts and t-shirts and just keep it in the cubby for, you never know. I mean, it's everything from spilt milk to paint to, dirt to whatever it is, accidents. That way we never have to worry. If for some reason your child doesn't have that stuff, our nurse does have plenty of extra clothes. If for some reason that is sent home with your child, we ask that you wash it and send it back. Also at camp, we want you to be sure that your child has at least 2 spare masks kept here at all times. Especially with the summer and with lots of water play and just being messy, we want to make sure our children always have a clean mask to have near their face. Also, you will want to send in a sunscreen and a bug bug spray. Make sure they are both labeled and in their original packaging. We are asking that you all make it part of your morning routine to completely sunscreen your child from, top to bottom. And then we will reapply sunscreen after swim. On days that they don't swim, if they're here past 12, we'll do it after lunch. So we won't take them outside again after lunch unless they're reapplied. But if they don't swim, it's just going to be from you in the morning, because it's not enough hours for it to wear off. If they do swim, we make sure that we sunscreen them once they dry and are out of the pool before we ever take them outside again. Also, okay, whatever else. Did I forget anything else on there? I hope not. Well, let's see. If your child's in diapers, send 2 weeks supply of diapers and a large package of wipes at the beginning of the camp year. Even if your child's not in diapers and you want to send a package of wipes to keep at school, it helps out with all sorts of things like messy hands, messy faces, and art projects. But of course, we will be able to supply that if you can't. And make sure you send in extra swim diapers on the days just to keep here, just in case. So the state of Maryland requires that everybody naps in all of our bunks except the 2 that are going into kindergarten. Excuse me. We don't force anyone to sleep. So let me explain to you what that means. At 12 o'clock, all of our camp comes back to their bunk, washes up, and enjoys lunch. Lunch is one of my favorite times to spend time with children because we just talk about the day and we talk about, things that they have planned on the weekends. And it's just really a time to just build those relationships that really make camp so special. At 1 o'clock, all of the children will go for what we call rest time. And everybody will have a cot. You will be providing like a crib sheet or a sleep sack or a nap mat. They come in lots of forms. The easiest to travel back and forth are the all-in-ones that just roll up and actually come with a little handle. And they just lay out onto the cot and they actually have like a folding blanket with it. But of course, you can send in any kind of small sheet and a blanket and we will make sure that your child gets nice and cozy. Everyone is required to stay on that nap mat from 1 to 1:30. It's really, really good for them, especially in the heat of the summer, just to have that half an hour of downtime. More children than not do fall asleep because we've been outside in the heat and they've been swimming and they've been running and they've been doing all of this, and it is a much needed rest. But if they don't fall asleep at 1:30, the children who aren't asleep will be involved in all sorts of fun stuff with their counselors in the classroom. It could be center time, it could be, board game time, it could be another time to create a craft or all of those kinds of things that children really, really enjoy. And then at 3 o'clock, if you're not awake, you will be nicely woken and everybody enjoys afternoon snack together. And then we will dismiss our 3:30. The children who leave at 3:30 and those of us who are still here will just get to have more time at camp and get more time on the playgrounds and more activities are scheduled. It'll be fun. So for those of you in our infant toddler program, first of all, thank you for trusting us with your tiny, tiny, tiny humans. And your schedule is also from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Infant toddler doesn't really get a choice of programming timing. Everyone is here full time. Everyone is signed up 5 days a week and everyone's scheduled from 7 to 6. It is up to you how you use that time. Should you choose to drop off your child during carpool, that's 8:25 to 9:10, you're going to pull through the parking lot just like everyone else and into our circle. We will come over, you will take your child's temperature, you will answer some COVID related questions, and then you will continue to drive through the circle, make the first right, which is into our top parking lot where it says one way, but this is the only time of day that you can enter that way. You're going to park your car, and the 4 infant toddler classrooms all have doors right there. And you're going to walk your infant or toddler up to the door where the counselor will greet them and take them into the classroom. If you want to pick up your child during carpool in the afternoon, it'll be the same, but in reverse. You will pull up and we will bring your child to you. You do not go to the door then. If you are coming in before or want to pick up your child after 4, that is going to be just like everybody else. And we're going to touch base on that in a little bit when I explain the procedures for the older kids, since it's the same. Also, we ask that you begin each day by providing the teachers with detailed information. We are going to touch base a little bit later on tadpoles, which for those of you who have it know how wonderful it is. For those of you who don't have it are going to love it. It is the way we check children in and out. It's an easy way for Danny and I to send text messages to you just to remind you of certain things. But in the infant toddler programs, it's your way to tell your child's teacher, when's the last time they pooped? When's the last time they ate? Did they not sleep well the night before? And all those other stuff that really affected infant or toddler's behavior for the day. You'll be able to communicate all of that. And the program is really simple and easy to use. And they communicate right back to you. Like they will mark off every time your child diaper gets changed and whether it's wet or soiled. They even have a spot to tell you whether it was loose stool, firm stool, or in between. So you will absolutely feel like you're there. The infant toddler supply list. To be kept at school, we need diapers and wipes, sunscreen and bug spray, a hat, sweatshirts or layers. It sometimes gets chilly with the air conditioning, a pack of baby wipes. On Monday mornings, please bring in bedding for your child's crib. I didn't mention this when we talked about nap time, but with infant toddler and nap mats. On Mondays, we need clean, fresh, washed bedding. It will be sent home to you guys on Fridays, and then you'll bring it back on Mondays. And you can just stick it in a disposable bag and we'll bring it in there. We'll make sure the bag is out of the reach of the children and we'll make sure it gets sent back home to you on Fridays. That's one of the reasons for the older kids, a nap mat that has its own handle is just so much easier to maneuver. Also, you will need to send in extra food items to be kept in the classroom for those of you who have babies that are beginning to eat. We serve snack to the older children, but for the infant and toddlers, you are providing your own food. To come in daily with your child, you're responsible for providing your daily food. A lot of people will leave like the snack puffs and other kinds of food here that we keep in bins, but then of course you'll send in your daily meals. Remember that we are dairy and we are nut-free in all of our programs. Bottles must be clearly labeled with your child's name and date. That is a licensing rule and we cannot waiver. Please make sure that you just have like blue painter's tape is the easiest way to go about it. And you just every day put the date or and your child's name on both the lid and the base of the bottle. Children at this age should not bring a backpack or toys from home with them to school. But the older kids are absolutely allowed to bring backpacks, and it is great when everything fits in one. So I know some of the small ones are really, really, really cute, but unless it can fit all of your child's stuff, it's really not useful. Please note that children may sleep in sleep socks in their crib, but not swaddles. Due to licensing regulations, we are not permitted to use any blankets, pillows, or stuffed animals in a crib, including Wubba Nubs. That's new. They didn't have Wubba Nubs when my babies were little. What's a Wubba Nub?
The passies with the little stuffed animals attached.
Oh, yeah, my kids didn't have those.
They're great when they get bigger, but according to licensing, we are not allowed to put them in the crib.
This brings us to lunch, snacks, and allergens. Ooh, ah. All right, so the JCC maintains Jewish dietary laws and we require the cooperation of all those who use the facility. All food sent to camp must be vegetarian. We do not allow any kind of meat and no shellfish. In addition, we are nut-free. So I'm going to talk about what that means. When you go shopping, you need to start reading the labels because even the foods that you would never think contain peanuts may be processed on a peanut plant. So if you are sending in something that's not in its original packaging, it could be something as simple as pretzels, you need to write on the bag that you're sending them in or the Tupperware that you're sending it nut-free. We are not able to serve anything that is not labeled because we do have children with severe nut allergies and we want the safety of everyone to come first. So please, please, please remember that. No meat, no shellfish, and nothing made with nuts. Like M&Ms, you wouldn't think is a candy made with nuts, but it is processed in the same factory that processes nuts. So when children bring them, they're all excited to have their little, treat after lunch, and unfortunately, it will be sent back home. Water fountains are still turned off due to COVID, but don't worry, every counselor has a huge pitcher that they in the morning fill up all the way with ice and get fresh water from the kitchen, and it's in their classroom along with little disposable Dixie cups, and children are offered water throughout the day. Also, We don't need to send in any kind of forks, spoons, any of that. We have all of that. And of course, we will be wearing gloves whenever we serve your child any type of food, snack or lunch. So allergies. The nurse and the teachers need to know about specific allergies. We do a lot of eating and a lot of cooking here, and we need to be aware of what your child may be allergic to. Please remember that they're not only eating the food that you pack them for lunches, but they are also eating whatever they're cooking or whatever we're trying and in farm to table or during their cooking time. Parents of children with specific allergies must keep nursing service informed of each allergy. To ensure the safety of all Noah's Ark campers, some of whom have life-threatening food allergies, our camp is a nut-free facility. We require parents to provide lunches free of nuts and nut products. Again, this just repeats about checking everything and labeling the baggies that you're sending in of random food nut-free. If it's goldfish, label it nut-free. The brand Goldfish are nut-free, but some of the off-brands are not, or might have that backwards. Goldfish might not be nut-free, but whatever it is. If you see that it's processed in a peanut processing plant, please do not send it. Coconut, nutmeg, and water chestnuts are not official nuts and are considered safe ingredients. We are excited to share that if you don't want to pack lunches, you don't have to. Chef Dan, who is has a beautiful cafe at the Park Heights location of the JCC, is coming out to us. I don't believe that he is going to have his official opening for anybody at our JCC quite yet. That is in the works, but he is providing us with choices of hot lunch daily. Here are your choices, here are your prices, and we are learning tomorrow, or Thursday, we are being trained in the system that Chef Dan is using for you guys to input the information, what you want to order, so that we are sure that your child gets the hot lunches when you order them. The a la carte items are available anytime, and then there is a schedule of dishes Monday through Friday. And you will get more information about how to go about ordering those when we find out more. Don't forget that Wednesday is pizza day. If your child likes pizza, you're definitely going to want to sign them up for two reasons. One, almost everybody gets pizza because the children love it. It's a very special day. And also because it supports our PTA and it is a fundraiser. If you have any questions about that, let me know. The pizza does come from Chef Dan, so it is kosher and nut safe. And the kids really, really get excited for Wednesdays. Well, that was fancy. So for those of you who have not been with us, let me just tell you everything we're doing to clean and disinfect our school and our camp. We, of course, follow all CDC and MSDE guidelines for our cleaning protocols. We are lucky enough to have Mr. Cook, who's an incredible housekeeping staff designated to just the Early Childhood Center. So all day long, he is walking around disinfecting the doorknobs and light switches and toilets and everything else that our children come in contact with, as well as our teachers throughout the day. He is just down here. Each teacher every morning makes a bleach solution that is like 1 to 5 bleach solution. It is the perfect amount of bleach to kill all of the germs, but not harm the children or make anything white. Like I can spray it with my clothes on and I don't, and I come home with, clothes without spots of bleach. When surfaces are dirty, they're using the soap and water or the bleach solution to clean it. Every time the children are done an activity or prior to snack or lunch, the bleach solution is sprayed all over the tables. Given a minute, we wipe it down so we are sure that if a child's eating directly off the table, which kids love to do, that it's germ-free. We also use disposable items, and we know it's not great for the environment, but we are going to get through this COVID craziness and get back on to saving the earth. But as of right now, we are using disposable things like wet wipes and the Lysol wipes and paper towels for surfaces instead of any kind of rags or anything that we would normally reuse. Cleaning of toys. Each classroom has a designated yucky bucket. It's filled with soapy water for anything that a child might put in their mouth or plastic toys that need to be cleaned. If your child's with us now, they all know about the yucky bucket, and for some reason, it's like a joy for children to put toys in the yucky bucket. The yucky bucket, at the end of the day or during the day, The toys will be sprayed with bleach and left out to dry overnight. If you ever walk through a building, once all the children are gone, you'll walk into a classroom and you'll see nothing but like their Legos and their cars and their people all lined up on all the countertops and all the tables. Because at the end of the day, we'll just go around and we spray everything. And then in the morning it's dry, we put it back. The children are playing with clean toys. It's really been working for us and it's a great system. Hard plastic toys are also cleaned by placing them in the dishwasher, which I didn't know if you know that you can do that at home. You can put them in like those dryer bags, like the delicate dryer bags that you put stuff in, and just put it on the top rack of the dishwasher, and the dishwasher gets hot enough and sanitizes all the toys. What makes our specials special? So last summer, unfortunately, we were not able to have any specials. We are welcoming some back. It's not a full summer. We learned some things from COVID, some really important things. Our kids in the past summers, we've had so many specialists that they really are just going from one activity to the next, to the next, to the next. And what we realized last summer when we didn't have any of these is that children thrive on just being together. Children thrive on being left with the toys to create and explore as they want. So we wanted to find the equal medium, and I really feel like that's what we did for the summer. So aquatics, swimming, we are definitely swimming. There's been this crazy lifeguard shortage nationwide, but luckily the JCC found the staff that they needed, which we are thrilled about, to offer swim lessons 1 to 3 times per week. So our 2-year-old classes will only be getting swim instruction 1 time a week, but they will go to the pool another day a week, the baby pool, and they will go to the splash pad on the 3rd day. So they still will have 3 days of fun, sun, wet and wild days, but only 1 day of actual swim instruction. All of the other classes will get 3 days of swim instruction and 1 day on the splash pad. So everybody will have 4 days a week where they will be coming in a bathing suit. All of those activities will happen before lunch. All instructors are Red Cross certified. There's free swim and spray ground weekly. Shawnice Crawford is our aquatics coordinator, and her number and her email are right here if you have any questions for her. And they actually give out these really cool report cards through a private portal. Counselors will provide each parent with this 3-digit code that you can access your child's report cards, and you can see like them increase in the levels, and you can see as they learn for the first time to put their head underwater, which is always so cool to watch a child come to us like a little fearful about the pool and end up by the end of the summer going under just like everybody else. For those of you who have toured or I've showed you around, one of my favorite spots to show you is our instructional pool, because it is such a shallow pool that most of the children, once they're 2, can stand in. So it gives them that confidence of being able to stand in a pool that's not a baby pool. And it just gives them that sort of feeling of, I got this, to start trying the more difficult things and going under and stuff, knowing that their feet will lift them back to the surface. So it really is a special place for them to learn. We talked about partnering with JVC and creating special memories by doing mitzvah. Mitzvah, for those of you who don't know, are kindness, acts of kindness. And it really is important to teach children to take care of the community and people less fortunate. So we will be fulfilling mitzvah and helping to repair the world, which is tikkun olam in Hebrew. So we actually have this really incredible guy, Mr. Zach, who's going to be coming to do sports with our children. In the morning, he will be a sports specialist, and in the afternoon, he will be assigned to one of the older children's bunks. He's got a lot of energy. He loves sports, and he loves working with kids. He's got experience because the camp that he's been going to, he was working at as a CIT and all these other things. And now that he is actually having the first time of a summer being at home, he is ours, and I am so excited. The kids will improve with their hand-eye coordination and gross motor skills, and each week they will have a different activity, whether it's parachute one week and scooters another, and an obstacle course the third week. It's all going to be different things that really get our children moving and grooving while having a good time, really getting them to understand that exercise is important and also fun. Also, Miss Eden will be our farm to table cooking specialist. Our garden, which we started to plant in during the school year, will hopefully be harvesting us plenty of cucumbers and tomatoes and zucchinis, potatoes and lettuce and everything else you can grow in a garden. It is located on our natural playground. And the best thing about camp is that we like to go outside on that playground. Kids are playing and they'll find a cherry tomato, pull it right off the vine. There's a hose right out there. They can rinse it off. And if they get hungry during playtime, they can munch right there on the fresh vegetables that they helped plant. Also, all summer long, Miss Eden and counselors will be cooking with your children. We'll make everything from homemade pickles to zucchini bread to banana muffins. And then during our second to last week of camp, we host a farmer's market with all of the wonderful fresh fruits and vegetables that we've harvested, as well as everything that we've made from everything that we've harvested over the week. And there is nothing cuter than watching 3, 4, and 5-year-olds sell you ridiculously priced, no kidding, selling you all of this awesome stuff that they created. It was absolutely precious last time. I'm so sad that we didn't do it last year, and I'm so excited that you guys are going to get to experience it. It's really something special, and the kids just get to understand that, you know, food, it's consumed and all the time from what mommy brings home from the food store, but to get them to actually see that it was grown and harvested and manipulated into, you know, a muffin or a bread is really something special. And they really do start to understand that it's nourishment for their entire being. And it helps them learn that what you put in your body really does make a difference of how you feel and just how you perform. This picture is the wrong picture. So that's Mr. Ishai. He's not with us any longer, but he was a wonderful music teacher. Those of you who know Mr. Dan from Park Heights who came to work with us, his picture, just pretend that's Mr. Dan. He is our music and movement specialist. He plays the guitar and he is so excited to play with the children with different instruments, with different songs, with different beats, learning about rhythm and movement. And it's really just going to be a very, very exciting time. And then Mr. Dan also in the afternoon will be assigned a bunk. So her name is Shira and she's traveled all the way from Israel to be with us for the summer. I have been in touch with her once and she is lovely and super excited. She is coming and spending the summer just with us. This is the first year that we have a shluchim that is going to be just for the Noah's Ark program. So in the mornings, she will be teaching Israeli culture. She will be teaching the children about customs and foods and Hebrew language and songs and folk dances and everything else that she has to offer us. So the children really understand about different places and understanding that, you know, their world revolves a little, the world is a little bigger than what, you know, their little home base revolves around. It's really super special. I'm really excited that she's coming. And also in the afternoon, she'll be working with different bunks in wherever we need help. So her relationship with the children this year is going to be stronger than it ever has been before because she is ours for the 9 weeks. I'm really excited. So on Fridays, we get to celebrate Shabbat. And one of the things we do is honor the mensch of the week. A mensch is a person who's really ethical and somebody who has a strong sense of what's right and is kind and responsible and does good deeds and looks out for others and is well behaved. And this certificate is given to them on Fridays. So each week, the council will nominate 1 or 2 children to receive this special award. And at our special celebration, their name will be called on the loudspeaker and they'll come up and they'll get this award and they will come home feeling more proud than ever. And don't worry, everybody ends up being the mensch of the week. So our Kabbalah Shabbat celebration with me, Miss Kim, will be held each Friday. We will come together as a community to celebrate Shabbat, to uphold the COVID distancing. We will be dividing into 2 groups and meeting outside in this large courtyard that we have. So the bunks are all spread apart, but together we will sing our favorite Shabbat songs. We will dance our favorite Shabbat dances, and we will just celebrate and have a great time. We ask every Friday that the kids are all dressed in their camp shirts that you'll get shortly. And we welcome the Sabbath with open arms. And it's just a time of reflection as we recognize our mentions of the week and join together to recite the Shabbat blessings. And all of your children will enjoy challah and grape juice for snack. So this, I know, has been causing people a lot of stress, understanding exactly what's going on. For those of you who are here, things are changing. For those of you who aren't here, when we're offering 3 different programs, it gets confusing. So when you filled out the application, you filled out one of 3 sections: 9 to 12, 9 to 3:30, or 7 to 6. If you don't remember what you signed up for, please reach out. I have everybody's application. I'm happy to tell you all of that. So we're going to start with those people that, first of all, let me say, we're very excited to announce that now one parent or guardian may accompany their child into the building and escort their child out of the building during non-carpool times. We have a huge group of children coming to us, and we have a very big staff. But I need you to cooperate with me and understand that the safety of our children is number 1. And when we are doing carpool, half of the staff is out of the building retrieving children from the car. Our security guard is out of the building making sure that the cars are following guidelines. And it is not a time that we can allow parents to walk in. It has nothing to do with trying to be difficult. It has nothing to do with not working with you. It's truly comes down to safety. We still need to follow COVID policies based on our license, based on the CDC. There will be no one in the building to screen you if you walk in at that time. Our administrative assistant, Danny, and I, the security guard, are all part of the carpool procedure. And to keep that running smoothly, we need all hands on deck, and we are not going to allow any parents to walk in at that time. I'm very sorry. I know it sounds great that you're allowed back in the building, but if you're on one of these normal schedules, like the 9 to 3:30 or 9 to 12, you are not permitted to bring your child in during those carpool times. So if your child is registered from 7 to 6, usually you bring your child in during, before you go to work and after you're coming home. So what you will do is, if you arrive to the building from 7 to 8:10, you're going to park, and we have lots of 15-minute spots on the top of the lot, and you're going to walk your child inside. Our security guard then will be stationed at his desk, and they will conduct the screening. They'll take your temperature, and they will ask you the COVID-related questions for you and your child. Only one adult is allowed to bring the children in. Only one. So if mommy and daddy both come, I'm so sorry, we are not making exceptions to this rule. If your mother is in from Florida, I am so sorry, we are not making exceptions to this rule. So please, please, please understand that, and just know that it really is because we just want to make sure we're doing everything by the book, and that we want to keep everybody as safe as possible. You have the option, if you're in our 7 to 6 program, to absolutely use our carpool, whether it's in the morning or afternoon. Obviously, you wouldn't be using morning or afternoon, or you would not be requiring that 7 to 6 care. But if your work day doesn't start until later in the day and you want to use the carpool in the morning and then walk in at the end of the day, feel free, or vice versa. You have that choice. Please remember to everyone that we will not be accepting campers between 8:10 and 8:25 because we need 15 minutes of uninterrupted time so that our staff can really prepare for morning carpool and prepare for their day. Children who arrive between 8:25 and 9:10 must be dropped off in our morning carpool. That is most of our campers. Most of our campers are either doing the 9 to 12 and 9 to 3:30 program. Carpool is going to start at 8:25. So what that means is if you need to be out of here at 8:27 and you want to be first in the carpool line, I'm going to tell you what it's like right now. So I researched this and asked some of our families that are the first in carpool every day for school. And they were telling me that they get here around 8 o'clock to be one of the first. Lisa, thumbs up, 8 o'clock. If you want to be one of the first. That way you'll know your child will be out of that car by 8:27, 8:28, the latest, and you will be on your way. However, if you arrive at 8:30, it's going to look very daunting because the line of cars is going to be very backed up. However, if you arrive towards the end of carpool, and sometimes 10 minutes after carpool starts, there's no line at all. So and again, this is going to be a learning process for all of us. We're inviting close to 100 more children than we have right now back into our building. So it's going to be the first week is going to be a learning process. Actually, the first couple of weeks. Our first week is not our most crowded week. We promise we've got this carpool thing down to a science. So once the new parents get it down to a science too, it will go quickly. It looks like this. We have a traffic circle around the preschool, and we have 2 lanes in that traffic circle. And we pull up all the cars into that traffic circle. There are 2 adults on each side of that traffic circle coming to your car. You are not going to get out of your car or do anything until someone approaches your vehicle, because you will be asked to move up if we haven't gotten to you to keep the line moving. So don't get out of your car until you see one of us come up to you. We'll come up to you. We want you to be the one to take your child's temperature. So we ask everybody has, one of the quick head ones or the ear ones, and we'll ask you the COVID related questions, which are, have you seen it? Do you have any symptoms? Does anyone in your family have any symptoms? Is anyone being tested? Have you been in contact with anyone? And, after a couple of weeks, you know exactly what those questions are, and the system gets quicker and quicker. We record the temperature. If your child has a temperature of under 103 and you're able to answer no to all of our questions, your child is permitted into camp. What will happen then is each child has 2 counselors in their bunk, and every 2 bunks has an extra staff member, which we call a floater. So it'll either be your child's counselor, the assistant counselor, or their floater will come to the car and escort your child into their bunk. So it's going to be someone who they're familiar with. I am telling you that on the first day of camp, we will take many screaming children. I'm not even going to say many, maybe 5 screaming children out of your hands. And it'll look like we are bringing them into camp against their will. I promise you that we will take care of those children as if they're own. We will make sure that we get to know your child, to know exactly what they need, exactly what will help them calm down. And if you are willing to let us tear those children from you, that they will learn in less than a week that this is a happy place where people love them and they are kept safe and it is fun. It is very difficult when a parent presents himself as nervous or wishy-washy, and I get it, because believe me, I've got 3 kids, or that type of, or when your child looks at you like, don't let me go, and then you come back for that one last hug and kiss. The child senses that you're unsure, they sense that you're nervous, or they sense that you're stressed, and they carry that with them. You need to come to your kids starting tomorrow morning and be like, I am so jealous. I heard all about the camp. Wait till you get there. There are so many friends. There's so many twists. Did you know they have a splash pad and you're going to get to go swimming and you're going to get to all have lunch together and there's these crazy playgrounds. I just wish I was your age again and I could do it. If you come at it with like that kind of attitude, they'll get excited. They still might be nervous. I still might be prying their little fingers off of you on that first day, but they will definitely feel more confident if they know that you're confident about the program you're sending them to. I know it's going to be hard, but I promise you, and you can ask any of the parents that have been around, that we really will hold that child, love that child, and send you pictures to prove to you that within 10 minutes after you've left, that they're happy and playing and are having a great time. And if for some reason there's a unique situation where we can't calm a child down, of course, we'll reach out to you. We certainly don't want any child to be in true distress. We just want them to understand that this is a happy, safe place. And sometimes it just takes a little while to transition. If your child is late, which we ask that you're not late because the children also thrive on that consistency. But of course, you have doctor's appointments or something happened to your car. There's, of course, reasons. What you're going to do is you're going to park your car. You're going to come up to the security desk. You are going to check in there, and then you will go to the office, and we will figure out where your bunk is, and we will make sure your child gets there safely. Great. I'm sure there's a ton of questions coming in, but let's move along. Dan, what time is it? I have a watch. Never mind. Okay, moving along. So we've talked about, I think, all of this. Let's just go over the mask part. If your child's 2 years or older, they have to wear a mask upon entering the preschool. Again, we understand that the 2-year-olds might have a hard time understanding that they need to leave it on. We are going to encourage them to, but with the little ones, we certainly get it. So don't think that we're going to sit here forcing anyone into a mask. The older children really understand that it is a must right now. And I just finished, well, I'm not even finished, but I taught kindergarten this year, and it was crazy how the mask was not even an issue. Like, we had the most incredible year despite of the mask. It really was special in all the classes. I All right, all of this is going to be talked about ahead. The one big thing to take from this slide is that licensing states that no parent can be in our building for a total of 15 minutes total in one day. So if you are planning to drop your child off or pick them up, you are not allowed to hang out in the building. There's still no sofas or chairs set up for anyone to just chill, and you're not allowed in your child's bunk at all. So what you will do is you will bring your child to the bunk door. The counselor will come greet the child. The first thing we do when we bring them in is put away their stuff. They go directly to wash their hands, and then they will be able to like choose the center and play with their friends. So don't be disappointed if you're on one of the schedules where you don't get to come into the classroom, because no one is really coming into the classroom. Everyone's being dropped at the door. Dan, are you pointing to something that I forgot to say? Did you switch slides? This is a new slide? It looks just like the last slide. Okay, this is just in reverse for pickup procedures. All campers who end their day at 12 or 3:30 will be picked up during carpool. Again, it leaves you the carpool times, 12 o'clock carpool. We don't have many children leaving then, so it'll start at 11:50 and hopefully be done by 12. Again, if you want to have your child out first, you're probably going to want to line up at least 15 minutes before the start time. Afternoon carpool will be a little bit more crowded. 3:30 carpool will begin at 3:20. And end at 4. So those of you who signed up for late stay because you didn't want your child to be dismissed before 4 will be refunded for the money. If you were charged, it's no longer necessary because you are allowed to be here until 4. A minute after 4, you are late. Or if carpool isn't over at 4 at the beginning, of course, we're not going to charge you unless you arrive late. If you're stuck in the carpool line, we get that. We do not buckle your child in. We want to make sure your child is buckled in securely in the right way, so we leave that to you. So once your child is brought out to your car, they will be brought to your car. You're going to, as quickly but efficiently as you can, buckle that child in, and you're going to move out of the circle once that section of cars moves up, and we get the next section in. So it looks a little bit different than the morning because we only allow 10 cars into the circle at a time. So there's usually someone directing traffic, and you will see all this when you get here, because what we do is we have 4 people working carpool. One person is, you're going to get a carpool number that you're going to display whenever you come back for your child. One person is either texting or walkie-talkieing, that's a word, your number to another person who's sitting at our desk over the loudspeaker. So if your number is 98, I would, over the loudspeaker, everybody will hear number 98. Bradley, you're needed for carpool along with 10 other people. The teachers will bring those 10 children out. Hopefully they will all be getting buckled in around the same time. Those 10 cars will proceed out of carpool. The next 10 cars will be announced over the speaker, be brought out. So it's this whole little system that we have that works really well. So we ask that you stay in line, you don't cut in. There's really no way for you to cut in anymore. We put up so many cones. But what you need to understand is if you think you're like getting up quicker, if you like get one extra car into the circle, what parents don't seem to understand is that their child hasn't been called yet, because we're only calling those 10 cars at a time over the loudspeaker. So even if you get up with the group before you, you're still going to be waiting till the next group to get your child, because we're only announcing 10 names at a time. So just be patient. It will get quicker, and hopefully you will get that wonderful feeling when your child comes out with that huge smile on their face, excited to tell you all about the wonderful fun they had at camp. All children must be picked up promptly. If you know that you're going to be late or that someone other than yourself will be picking up your child, please notify the camp so we can comfort and prepare your child. We certainly understand that emergencies happen, and we are here for you. You don't have to worry. We're never going to leave a child if you are running late. We will stay with them. Danny and I have stayed with children who've been not picked up till 8 o'clock. Of course, we don't want that to happen, and you will be charged $2 for every minute that you're late, but don't ever rush or speed or think that your child is, going to be upset. We make sure that they're having a lot of fun while they're waiting for you, but we do expect you to be on time, especially when there is not a good excuse for your lateness. So we are a very secure facility and safety of your child is our #1 priority. Noah's Ark has an armed guard on duty whenever children are in the building. The kids absolutely love all of our guards. They build relationships with them as well, and so will you. You'll see them out at our carpool time. Feel free to introduce yourself. No child will be released to an individual under the age of 18. So even if they have a sibling that drives, but they're under 18, we are not allowed to release them. We do not permit your child to leave with anyone if they do not have parental permission. So if you're sending the neighbor or an uncle and they are not on your emergency form and they are not on your tadpole roster, we will not, without your permission, release them. Photo ID is required for anyone we get to know you. We have a lot of new families. Once we know you, we're not going to ask you for your photo ID, but please understand that we are taking safety very seriously. And if it's a new person picking up, or if it's the grandparent, we are going to make sure that it is the right person for that child. So they will need to have a picture ID. We will not release children from our care if there's not a proper car seat in place for them. Please understand that. Do not ask someone to pick up your child unless there is a proper car seat. This happens more than you would think. We will not put that child in the car. We will not put that child in the car for any reason if it's not proper seats in place. Please understand that that's for your child's safety. And if it becomes an issue, it is definitely something that we can, talk about, but it is the law for all of our children at this age to be either in a car seat or a booster seat. So please make sure you're doing your part to keep everyone safe. Oh, and while in our carpool line, don't talk on your phone. Hands-free. I'm not going to say anything about, but when I see people driving through our parking lot and we have children crossing the street and holding hands, and I see someone texting, I literally see something horrible happening, and we can all work to prevent that. Just do not make phone calls, try and text when we are trying to get 200 children safely to their cars, please. Nothing is that important that it's that risky. So please, please, please respect us and your children and keep everyone safe. And I will call you out if I see. Important contact information, please. I am here for you. I'm an open book. I'm easy to talk to. I am here, whether it's whatever you need. Danny too. We are a fabulous team and we want this to be a really positive experience for everyone. We're hoping that we're building memories that your children will remember forever. Mary Ida, our new administrative assistant, is just fitting in so perfectly. We really are enjoying getting to know her, and I know you will too. And she's very organized and on top of things, which is 2 thumbs up. And we have fabulous nurses. Please reach out to any of us. We are a team. We are here for you. This is, we're doing all of this to really make it an incredible summer for everyone. Here's a couple of big things. We really value an open homeschool communication. We understand that we're a partner in your child's education and your child's fun. We want to work together. And the way that we can do that is by getting you as involved as possible. And with COVID, that's not the way that we would like to do things. We want to invite you to different things, but right now we can't. So we communicate with you through a couple of different systems, and we'll talk about those on the next page. Please know that it is not the time to talk to your child's counselor at carpool or when you're dropping off. They are responsible for all of the children in their care. It is not a time for you to ask questions about your child's personal needs or how they're doing. All of our teachers are dedicated and are here to talk to you and explain all that kind of stuff. But if you need to talk to them, you can message them through the Story Park app. You can email them directly. You can call the school and one of us will transfer you to a child's classroom or make sure we set up a time that we go in so they can have the individual, so that you can have their undivided attention when talking about your child. It makes teachers, of course, teachers want to tell you all about their children, but if you're asking them at a time when there's many other children where their eyes need to be, it really makes it for an uncomfortable situation. And we want our children to be safe, but we also want you to have we want you to know that you can come to your teacher at any time, but make sure that time's appropriate. Tadpoles is the app that we use to log children in and out of our program each day. You can get the free app. Right there is the the website, what we do is that each one of you has a 4-digit code. Those of you who are with us now have your 4-digit code and we'll continue to use it. We program your 4-digit code as the last 4 digits of your cell phone number. On the first day of camp, when we ask you for your code, you'll give us those digits. It is possible that somebody already has those digits and it will not work on the first day. So what we'll do is we'll tally up whoever it is that didn't work, and we will come up with another 4-digit code that will be easy for you to remember, and we will assign that to you. But until we try it for the first day, we really won't know whose is working and whose isn't working. But after that first day, we will make sure everybody has a working number. And in the mornings at Carpool, we'll ask you for that 4-digit. It'll check your child in for the day. Whenever you pick up your child, we'll ask you for the same 4 digits. It will release your child for the day. But what you need to remember is that licensing requires that we know exactly who picked up at what time. Everybody on everyone listed as a pickup person has their own 4-digit code. So mom can't use dad's code, grandpa can't use dad's code. Everybody has their own 4 digits. And if it's not working the first time, we will be sure to make sure we find one that does work. And everything that is captured on Tadpoles, all the private information is strictly between you guys and Danny and I and our administrative assistant. Story Park is a fabulous, fabulous app that kind of feels like a post or like a Facebook post where we will add pictures from the child's day and clips of videos from their day, and we will present them at the end of the day as a documentation to share with you, that you can just see the fun and the excitement that your kids are having throughout the day. It really will make you feel part of Noah's Ark, and it's really a great way to have your children at the end of the day sit down with you and open up communication, and so that they're looking at the pictures and they're telling you about their day. It really is a special app. I'm sure you're going to love it. It's also, for example, in my class, if a child loses a tooth during the day and they're all excited, like I'll take a quick picture of that child with the hole in their mouth, holding the tooth up, and I'll send that to an individual parent. So it's also a quick way for us to just communicate with you individually. If your child's running low on diapers, or needs new clothes in their bin, a teacher might just send a quick story on Story Park, and it'll present itself as an email, Danny, right? An email or text? Email. As an email. And you will be able to follow us along on your child's journey. On Fridays, I will be sending out my communication. It's going to be a director's newsletter. The first blurb will tell you about our week and what's coming up next week. I'll really try and add details so you really feel like you were part of it. And also, it's a great place to look for reminders of upcoming events and dates that things are due. We're going to be asking for different things like sending a white t-shirt for the tie-dye week, or reminding you to send those coloring supplies as the mitzvah, or don't forget Fridays is tzedakah. Those kinds of things will all be in there. And if you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out. We're here for you. We talked a little bit about this before. It is hard for some children to transition, and I know that some of our families are transitioning from having their children home for 1.5 years. So yes, it's going to be a little bit stressful, but usually it is more stressful for the parent than it is for a child. When we reopened for the first time, after being closed for such a long time, we really did think that we were going to be opening up to a school and camp full of screaming children. It was surreal the first day of camp last year, how these children jumped out of the car and were like, bye, like literally waving to their parents. They couldn't wait to get out of the car because they don't like being home any more than we like being stuck home. And they were thrilled to be back and together and on the playgrounds and having fun and socializing. So I really do think that you are going to see that your children transition a lot easier than you would typically think. And also, so many of our returning students are coming to camp, so they are all comfortable and loved and know what a wonderful place this is. So when they're coming into an environment that's already established with children that are happy, it's a lot easier for them to feel happy too. When it's an entire new group of students and everyone's like timid and nervous and scared, sometimes that is bred through children and it can be more difficult. But I promise you, we are going to take care of your children and make them feel loved. I promise. I just jumped because I thought Danny was in my office. Oh, she's at her desk again. I am looking forward to having an exciting summer with you and your campers. That was long. I've talked forever, and I'm sure you have a ton of questions. Danny, we have a couple minutes for the important questions that came through, and then please feel free to reach out to me tomorrow, over the weekend. Whenever you do, I will get back to you, I promise.
I apologize that I disappeared. They're vacuuming, and I couldn't hear Kim's exciting explanations of everything. I'm going to go through the questions. I do think I answered.
Oh, good. You were answering them?
I
Good.
was.
I'm gonna close
I'll
my door.
answer
They are
Allison's
getting
right now. Allison, you will get an email tomorrow with the recording of this information session and a roster for your child's camp bunk. That won't be given out tonight because we have too many bunks to be able to
Because
go
we're gonna
through
get
it all.
locked in the building and have to sleep here if we don't leave soon.
I've already set this alarm off too many
Hi,
times, so I don't want to do that.
Isn't it bedtime for you? Kindergarten? Okay.
I will, I think everyone except for Dan I've answered. So I'm going to go through the questions that we've kind of gotten a couple of different times. I'll start with the infant toddler one, because if you've been with us year round, you didn't fill out a new app. And if you are just joining us for the summer in infant toddler, your app said 8:30 to 4:30. So people are wondering, what are the hours for infant toddler?
Infant toddler is 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Feel free to drop your child off as early as 7, pick them up as late as 6. However, just remember, if you're arriving during our carpool times, you cannot walk in the building during those times. And I'm going to throw this out. If you signed up and are continuing through the school year, the hours do change again once the school year starts, and that our hours will be 7:30 to 5:30. So just for the summer, are we 7 to 6?
People have expressed some concern because of that email that went out about staffing. I know that you talked about it, but I got some questions afterwards. So can you just reiterate what you said about our team?
Say it one more time, because I was multitasking. I was reading. Say, I'm so sorry, that was rude.
People are looking again for, can you repeat the update you gave about our staffing?
Sure. So we did send out a message to everyone a few weeks ago about that we were a little bit concerned because we were short-staffed. For some reason, I don't know why, that blast sent us a wonderful array of wonderful candidates. Right now, we are fully staffed, and with people that I'm excited to have come work here, we are, all of our employees are 12-month employees, so they continue on with us. So we have in each bunk a certified preschool teacher or a certified infant toddler teacher, along with an assistant. Many of them are year-round, but we did bring on 18 new friends for the summer, and I am proud and excited to call them summer staff. It's really a great group.
I do just want to clarify, because I know that we've gotten questions about this in the past. Some of those 18 staff are people who return with us year after year, and they work in the county or something like that, and or are college students during the school year. And we do have a full day orientation on Friday, and we will have another meeting with the specifically new staff to make sure that they're fully trained and are fully aware of all of our policies and protocols before they meet you and your children on Monday.
And I also want to be totally transparent about the fact that some of our staff are county teachers. We pride ourselves on, really hiring excellent staff for the summer. And this year, the county is ending a week after camp starts, a week and 2 days after camp starts. So if your child has one of those fabulous counselors, we already have incredible staff that is going to take their place for that first week. We have fabulous subs on our list, and we have the floaters that are going to fill in. So we're not short-staffed even during those weeks, but you might not meet the counselor that your child's going to have for the majority of the summer until they make their way to us after the county schools have closed.
Kim, will I offend you if I just answer some of these questions instead of?
No, please. I've been talking so long, but just remember the time.
Okay. The pool schedule will come out on Monday, probably, when your counselors send their first story park invitation. It will include a schedule. At this very moment, we will not have swimming for the first 2 weeks. As Kim mentioned earlier, aquatics is having some staffing issues as well, and they need a little bit more time to get their staff fully certified and trained. So we are doing our best to get them free swimmer water time on the spray ground for the first 2 weeks. But as of right now, that won't officially be starting until what is our week 3. So you will have plenty of time to get that schedule and figure out exactly which days your children need bathing suits. It will be consistent every week, unless on a day when they don't typically swim, the teachers decide to do something fun like water play on one of our playgrounds or courtyards. The 2 different communication apps that Kim mentioned are Tadpoles and Story Park. Remember that Tadpoles you can download on your own as of Friday and put in your email. Just make sure it's the same email that you gave us on our end. And then for Story Park on Friday, you will get an invitation that you need to accept. If you don't see it by Friday evening in your mailbox, please make sure you check your spam. Once you accept that, you're able to invite others to kind of join along on that journey and watch as well. So again, it's coming straight from Story Park, not from Kim or I or the JCC. So just keep an eye out for that. We are not mandating that all of our staff are vaccinated. It's from my understanding, actually not incredibly legal right now because it's still considered a trial phase. Although I will tell you that we have an incredibly high percentage of our year-round staff that are vaccinated, and we pride ourselves on, one, the ability that we were able to get them appointments so early in the game, and that so many of them were on board with doing that to keep you and our entire community really safe. You are able to send in soy products. We will serve soy butter, like Wow Butter, which is a soy product. So if you have questions about that or sunflower butter, any peanut butter substitutes, that is a-okay. You just want to make sure you label it that way so that nobody's giving your child like a cheese sandwich on challah and throwing away your Wow Butter sandwich because we think it's real peanut butter. So please make sure that you're identifying everything as what it is before you send it. Same if you've got really great versions of meatless chicken nuggets, things like that, because if we think it smells and looks like a chicken nugget, it's going to not be served to your child. Pool schedule, that was a big one. We said rosters will go out tomorrow with a recording of this orientation. Somebody asked about when the nurses leave at 1 o'clock, but I do believe that Kim mentioned all of our staff is certified in first aid and CPR, and many of them, including Kim and I, everyone that works in the office, many of our lead teachers are also certified in medication administration. So there's always somebody here who is able to handle any medication needs. We'll call you if we ever have any concerns or questions about your child's behavior, or if they have a temperature or they get hurt or anything like that. Somebody did just point out, thank you, Stephanie, that the slide may have said temperature of 103 is not allowed. It is 100.3. Please don't send your child with anything above 100.3 to camp. They belong home and resting and feeling better with you before they come back in. Infant toddler classes, our emerging twos group and maybe our toddler class will get time on the spray ground. They will not have formalized swim lessons throughout the week though. Again, that will come with your schedule. We are asking that all of our counselors make a phone call home to you before your child's first day. So if your child, I'm going to say on Friday or Sunday, you should hear from your child's camper, your child's counselor, if they are starting on Monday. If they don't start till week 4, please don't feel the need to email us on Sunday night that you haven't heard from them yet. They're trying to get through the people that'll really be here on Monday, but they will make sure to touch base with you. If you have something specific you'd like to talk about, please reach out to Kim and I so that we can make sure to have the counselors connect to you as soon as possible. The preschool plus hours for pickup, the way that all of that works, I really hope was clear. I know Kim went over it a few different times on a few different slides. If you asked about how you enter the building regarding access to the building, if you're a member or not, if you had a membership card prior to COVID and you are still a member, they should be reactivating that same card. If you are not a member, we will be making a cardstock card that will have your name and the weeks and the days that you are allowed to access specifically the preschool. Please note that that will not give you access to the aquatics park or the fitness center. So if you are interested in becoming a member for the summer, be in touch with us. We'll connect you with membership. But along with that badge, you will need to be bringing in your photo ID because a security guard will be checking both of those things hand in hand before you're able to access the building so that we're not like handing off the card to random people. It's a hot commodity around here. And if you are a new member and you need a membership card, you can go visit membership, have your photo taken, and they will give you that. Masks are required while your children are in the building for 2 and up, not while they are outside. However, I'll preface that by saying if your group is going outside and they are sitting right next to each other for more than 15 minutes in very close proximity, they will be asked to put a mask on. If it's incredibly hot, they'll be doing that in their bunks, and don't have to worry about your child wearing their mask in 100-degree weather because they're not going to be outside to sit and have a circle time that way. If you have a child entering kindergarten in the fall, they do not need a nap mat. You don't have to send it because they won't be resting. We are going to do our best to have all of the teachers send home their belongings if you're here with us year round on Thursday. So you will be sending everything back when you get started on Monday or their first day of camp. If you would like to try and drop it off on Friday afternoon, once our teachers are working on setting up their rooms, please give us a call, shoot us an email, something like that. We will meet you outside to gather those belongings from you and have them waiting for your child on their first day of camp in their bunk. We are not using reusable diapers or reusable swim diapers right now because of COVID. Everything is disposable. For infant toddler, all of the bottles do need to be pre-made. If they are formula, they need to be mixed in the morning, like Kim mentioned, labeled and dated. If it is breast milk, it needs to be ready to go in the bottle. We will warm them up using a crock pot if your child takes it warm, but you'll give us all that information on their basic needs plan. All of the snack that we provide is kosher. If your child is older than 2 years old, we will provide a fresh fruit or vegetable Monday through Thursday and challah and grape juice on Friday in the morning, and a food from at least 2 different food groups in the afternoon. You are still providing lunch unless you're participating in Chef Dan's hot lunch program or our Pizza Wednesday. And then in infant toddler, you can sign off at giving us permission to give them some dry goods such as graham crackers, whole milk. That's not a dry good. Kicks, Cheerios, things like that, to supplement what they're eating in infant toddler, but you can also choose to send everything from home. Oh, that's a great question, Rebecca. If you have a child in another camp, please make sure that you're dropping your camper off here in carpool in Noah's Ark. There will be plenty of staff guiding you. It might be challenging, again, especially in the beginning. However, for the first 2 weeks of camp, we don't have other J camps running. But once your older children start camp in J camps, please drop your children, your youngest ones, off here, and then they will guide you across to hop into that J camps line on the other side of the building.
If I have 2 children in Noah's Ark, one in infants, toddlers, one in the older bunks, is it one drop-off location?
It's all going to be either in our carpool line, in which case your older camper will get out of the car with their counselors in that carpool line, and then you'll pull over to the right, park, and walk your child, your infant toddler, up to their door. However, if you're coming into the building, you're coming into the same wing, and then you'll just go down 2 different halls, depending on the age of the campers. Megan did ask a good question. If you have a baby who is not enrolled in camp, if your child's only here 9 to 12 or 9 to 3:30, that doesn't count as an additional person. We understand you're not going to leave your baby in the parking lot while you come in and run here. Please don't do that. To pick up or drop off your child, please bring them with you. However, if you wanted to bring your significant other or a grandparent or a visitor, that will not be allowed. If you want to order food, I do believe it's going to be 24 to 48 hours. Like Kim mentioned, they just finished getting their Boone Lee site up, and we are getting trained on that on Thursday. So as soon as we get those directions and they make sense to us, we can confirm that. We'll send it out to you. They've got those rules. But again, as it said on the bottom of that slide regarding Chef Dan, it is not something that Noah's Ark runs directly. That's all coming from Chef Dan and his cafe. Oh, I was so on top of these. I want to make sure I'm answering all of the questions that are coming in now. Absolutely. The counselors will definitely let you know and communicate if they need more bottles, more bottles, that's not a thing, more wipes or diapers or anything like that. But you can also just keep an eye out. If they're coming home in clothes that they didn't come to camp in and they've got dirty clothes in their bin, in their backpack, please understand that you obviously need to clean something and send them back so we can replenish what's going on, what they have in their cubby. We do keep spares in our nurse's office. If they come home with something that doesn't belong to them, please wash it and send it back so we can continue to restock our spare bins in the nurse's office.
I have one that wants to clarify, if your child is registered from 7 to 6, can you drop your child off between 8:10 and 9 a.m.? So I just want to say this clearer. You may drop your child off between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8:05. 8:10. And again, at 8:25 to 9:10, that is carpool time. No one is going to be allowed to drop their child off, whether it's in carpool or in person, between 8:10 and 8:25. So again, Even if you're signed up from 7 to 6, we are not accepting children for those 15 minutes, just to make sure our staff is ready for the day. All the children that were dropped off before are entertained before we all head out for carpool. Between 8:10 and 8:25, we will not be accepting children.
If your children are here year round in either infant, toddler, or preschool, they may or may not be staying with the same teachers. Again, you'll get your roster sent to you tomorrow with your bunk number and your counselor's names. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to Kim and I directly. If your child is over the age of 2 years old, not only do you not need to send in water or milk, you may not send in water or milk or any water bottles. We don't do bottles outside of infant toddler. We don't do sippy cups or reusable water bottles. Licensing does not allow them. We will have water, ice cold water, available throughout the entire day, and 1% milk for the children older than 2 years old at snack and meal times. The ratio in infant toddler is 1 to 3 with a maximum of 6 in a class. The ratio in the 2s is 1 to 6 with a maximum of 12. And in 3s and up, I'll preface by saying we do not follow this much, but it is a 1 to 10 ratio with a maximum of 20 per class. You will not see our groups get that big. We don't think that that's fair to the children or to the staff in the bunks. If you have to pick up early, please make sure you communicate with your child's teachers and the administration so we can make sure that we're all on the same page. Again, we ask that that doesn't happen from 1 to 3 during nap time, and we cannot have children getting dropped off after 11:45. It throws off their day too much and in turn throws off the day for the rest of the children and the staff in the room as well. If your child is an infant toddler in the oldest bunk, that's our emerging 2s, that is when they start sleeping on cots, not in cribs. So anything below that, the infant room, mobile infant, and the toddler room, those are the 3 that still use their cribs. We again are not wearing masks outside. We do not want any water bottles sent in. Please keep those at home or in the car ready for them, so when they get in the car, they're able to drink that. But we're working with the children on being independent and drinking from small child-sized cups.
And every time we come in from outside, all the children are, given water to drink. Like, we make sure that we keep them very hydrated. And in most classrooms, the children are able to go up and pour water from themselves throughout the day whenever they're thirsty. And if they're in a classroom that is too young for that, they are offered water all day long. So you never need to fear that your child's going to become dehydrated or anything like that. We really monitor and make sure that the children are staying healthy in our care.
That does include drinks for lunch. We are a juice-free school except for Shabbat on Fridays, and we'll serve that 1% milk and water. If your child is dairy-free and you don't want them having milk, you may send in an alternative that they will get when it's time for them to have snack or lunch. However, it does need to come in its original container labeled with your child's name and may not be a nut-based milk. But if you wanted to do a soy or a plant-based milk, you are welcome to do that. You are sending in backpacks. We would not be able to get through camp with swim and towels and things like that without a backpack, and lunch boxes and reusable containers. However, we are not currently refrigerating lunches. So if you would like it to be something that remains cold, please put an ice pack into their lunch boxes. If
Our
you
classrooms are cold.
we did
so
go
you
back
don't-
to using lunch boxes and backpacks on Earth Day. So if you haven't started that yet and you'd like to, that came in from a few people that are currently still enrolled in school.
know.
So you're welcome to start doing that tomorrow if you'd like. I think that was all of the things that I think would be applicable to everybody. If you have any other questions, again, please go through the handbook and by all means reach out to Kim and I. We're happy to answer everything to make sure that you guys are set up for success when we kick off camp on Monday.
Camp's on Monday.
Woo! All right, I am going to stop recording and say good night and thank you to everyone. We really do have to leave before maintenance locks the building. So we hope you have an incredible night and enjoy your weekend. We can't wait to see you on Monday.
I am so excited. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.